warm welcome and a thank you goes from the broadcasting crew and myself to you, our viewers, for joining us on ERi-TV English News Broadcast. We are now ready for our June 26th English News Broadcast, and we invite you to stay with us up until the end. To begin with, here are our top stories. The Ministry of Education conducts activity assessment meeting. The National Union of Eritrean Women Executive Committee conducts activity assessment meeting. In our international, US threatens to cut gas supplies to EU. And Bangladesh and China sign bilateral agreements. Welcome again. In today's domestic news, the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and Adhalo Human Resources Office, conducted an activity assessment meeting on the progress of pre-education services for the year 2025-2026 from 23 to 25 June at the National Confederation of Eritrean Workers Conference Hall. The meeting was attended by governors of the 6 regions of the country, heads and representatives of ministries, partners, as well as invited guests. Indicating the substantial investment made by the EPLF during the armed struggle for independence and by the government of Eritrea after independence in the education sector, Ambassador Abdullah Musa, Minister of Local Government, commended the initiative to establish preschools in all villages across the country. He also reminded administrations at all levels of their responsibility in the effort. Dr. Halima Mohammed, Minister of Education, on her part, noted that the policy of the Ministry of Education to provide equal access to education is a central pillar in the journey to ensure social justice. She also said that in Eritrea, basic education is a free and obligatory citizenship right. Noting that as part of the program initiated at the national level to expand pre-education opportunities, preschools have been established in all villages and training programs have been organized for about 6,000 female preschool teachers. Dr. Halima said that the successful program has been implemented through the coordination of Adhalo Human Resources Office and the involvement of other partner institutions. Heads of education branches in the regions also provided reports regarding the progress of pre-education in general and the construction of new preschools and renovation of existing ones in particular, in terms of the success registered and the experience gained. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the reports presented as well as on the activity programs for 2026-2027. Moving on, the Executive Committee of the National Union of Eritrean Women conducted an activity assessment meeting for the first half of 2026. At the meeting, which was conducted on 24 and 25 June in Asmara, Mr. Ghatasfa Mikhail, President of the National Union of Eritrean Women, noted that encouraging activities have been carried out in expanding and strengthening organizational capacity, organizing vocational training programs, recruiting new members, enhancing the political awareness of women, as well as organizing various seminars, and that this attests to the strong efforts exerted and the participation of all concerned institutions. According to the reports presented by heads of departments and branches of the Union, praiseworthy activities have been carried out in ensuring maternal and child health, promoting the use of maternity waiting rooms in all regions of the country, as well as in eradicating harmful practices. The reports also indicated the significance of the role of partners in the successful implementation of programs and called for integrated efforts in recruiting new members and expanding awareness-raising activities. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations. In another news, members of the Ministry of Health branch in the Central region have extended 5,000 nafa each to 20 families of martyrs identified by the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare. At an event organized at the Iraga Hamus Community Hospital premises on 24 June, Sister Faqadu Hagos and Dr. Malaka Tawalda, coordinators of the program, said that the objective of the support was to show the families of martyrs that the Eritrean people are always on their side. Commending the initiative, Ms. Jim'a Ibrahim, head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch in the region, and Mr. Tedros Fisahaya, head of social welfare, said that supporting families of martyrs is a priority task and called on others to follow the noble initiative. In the same vein, students and staff members of the College of Business and Social Sciences extended 37,800 nakfa to 34 families of martyrs. Members of the National Union of Eritrean Women in the Central Region also extended 20,000 nakfa to 4 families of martyrs. In its 22nd commencement, the Amhara Technical School graduated 144 students in certificate on 24 June. The graduates were provided with 2 years of training in auto mechanics, construction, wood and metal works, as well as electronics. Mr. Wahab Muhammad Ali, director of the school, noting that the graduates have successfully completed the theoretical and practical training, called on them to use the knowledge they gained from the training as a stepping stone and to enhance their skills through practice and reading. Mr. Tasfai Siyum, Director General of Technical and Vocational Training at the Ministry of Education, underlining the substantial investment the government is making in the education sector, called on the youth to take advantage of the training opportunities being provided. Congratulating the graduates and their parents, Mr. Yamana Abraha, administrator of the Amhara subzone, called on the graduates to play their due part in the nation-building process with the skill they gained during the training program. The Amhara Technical School, which was established in 1999, has so far graduated 413 students in diploma programs and 3,577 students in certificate programs. Do stay tuned, dear viewers, for we shall be back with the international news after the short break. Welcome back. Now, the global arena. The US has warned the EU that American liquefied natural gas could be diverted elsewhere unless it eases planned methane emissions regulations. The EU replaced much of its Russian pipeline gas with American gas following the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022 and the imposition of sanctions on Moscow. The shift made the US the bloc's largest external gas supplier and was hailed by its leaders as a step toward greater energy security. Europe's energy crisis has worsened since then, with gas and electricity prices soaring to record highs. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said American exports would flow somewhere else if the EU refused to change the rules, which are due to take effect in 2027. Under the new regulation, imported gas will have to meet strict methane monitoring, reporting and verification standards comparable to those imposed on EU producers. The US has joined Qatar, Algeria and Nigeria in urging the EU to amend or delay the legislation. EU Energy Commissioner Dan Georgeson, however, rejected the calls to weaken their legislation, insisting the bloc would not compromise its environmental standards despite pressure from suppliers. In today's final report, Bangladesh Prime Minister Tariq Rahman met and held talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping during his first official trip to Beijing. The two heads of state held bilateral talks focusing on strengthening cooperation in trade, investment, infrastructure development, and other areas of mutual interest. Accordingly, 13 memoranda of understanding spanning various sectors were signed following the talks between the two leaders. A pact on the China-Bangladesh-Mongla Port Economic Zone aimed to facilitate the development of the industrial zone adjacent to Mongla Port was also signed as part of an Invest Bangladesh seminar. China is Bangladesh's largest overall trading partner, dominating bilateral trade primarily through imports such as industrial machinery, electronics and textile raw materials. India is Bangladesh's second largest overall trading partner, while the United States is its single largest export destination. With this, we'll conclude our domestic and international report for this session, dear viewers. Now the top stories once more. The Ministry of Education conducts activity assessment meeting. The National Union of Eritrean Women Executive Committee conducts activity assessment meeting. In our international, US threatens to cut gas supplies to EU. And Bangladesh and China signed bilateral agreements. This was The World on Friday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast viewers. From all of us here, thank you for watching. Join us again on our tomorrow's broadcast. Until then, good night.